Hello, and welcome to A Word of Hope on Ash Wednesday. I welcome you to this hope and to listening to these readings which are so powerful today. The first reading is from the prophet Joel, who tells us to rend our hearts, not our garments, who's not looking for external signs of piety, but looking for an entire inner conversion and turning once again to God with all our hearts. Don't we need that in the world today? The second reading is also very beautiful, and it's a reading that comes to us from 2 Corinthians that invites us to be reconciled to God, to do whatever we must do to get into the gift of reconciliation that was brought to us through Jesus Christ. And finally, in the Gospel of Matthew, we're invited to humility. You know the story of this Gospel for Ash Wednesday that says, when you give alms, don't blow a horn for everyone to see. Don't make it about you. When you pray, don't stand so everybody can see you with your head bowed down. Don't make it about you. When you fast, don't look gloomy so that everybody knows you're sacrificing and giving something else. It's not about you. We need to listen to this gospel today. It is amazing on how it calls us into intimacy in our relationships with God. It does not call us into signs of that relationship in which to show off in any way at all, but into a quiet, secret intimacy with God, that we might turn our hearts back to God, and that we might become more a part of reconciliation in the world. Speaking of that, we once again celebrate this season of Lent. We begin this season of Lent knowing of the terrible invasion by Russia of Ukraine and all the suffering that continues to go on. Last week, on the day that Russia invaded Ukraine, our Holy Father, Pope Francis, wrote the following: "And now I would like to appeal to everyone, believers and non-believers alike. Jesus taught us that the diabolical senselessness of violence is answered with God's weapons, with prayer and fasting. I invite everyone to make March 2nd, Ash Wednesday, a day of fasting for peace. I encourage believers in a special way to dedicate themselves intensely to prayer and fasting on that day. May the Queen of Peace preserve the world from the madness of war." My friends, you and I have much to pray about on this year's Ash Wednesday as we begin this year's season of Lent. And in a world that continues to choose war, let you and I choose peace humbly before the world and humbly before our God. A blessed Lent to all of you.